Okay, I went into Australia and told her to cut my hair and make me guapo. And this is what she did. I really kind of like the kind of ruffled haircut on the thing. I'm not sure I can live with this type of haircut, but I will until the next haircut, right? Okay, but it's a $2.50 haircut that was better than really the United States, other than I'm not quite as guapo as I want to be. Okay, I'm Andy Lee Graham, and I've lived in 114 countries, and I've been doing this for 26 plus years. I'm in the country of Colombia, I think. And yesterday, when I arrived, I had 5 extra hours on the first day of here. So I was really quite bored because all of a sudden I had an overabundance of time. I mean, really, I had 5 extra hours of daytime to do stuff. And I'm like going, I had to adjust. So I'm trying to adjust to this extra surplus of time. But even in the United States, I have a lot more free time than most people. Why? Because pretty much it's because of one room living, okay? I have found that if I have a house with 10 rooms, I have 10 times more things to do. Okay, so I'm working on a back to nature house. It's called biophilic, a combination of in concert, in partnership with nature home that's in the nature. Because when people are walking in nature, it's kind of like Henry David Thoreau. They're basically much better grounded. So I'm really always, whether I'm in Colombia or Guatemala or Togo, West Africa or Thailand, wherever I'm at, I'm always looking for the one less decision home, okay? I really want a one room home, always. And I've decided that if I build these small houses that are be luxury houses, I'm going to build them with only one room. And that means that even the bedroom will be in the main room, so that you basically have to make your bed every day. But that's good for you. And I remember being in the Dominican Republic, and I was staying in this. I kind of house sit for this house in Sosua. It wasn't in the normal area, it was on the other beach, and I really enjoyed it because there was only one large room with a cathedral ceiling. I'm trying to figure out if I can get this house up to about 750 or 700, well, basically 800 square foot, and I could really have I could put it about anywhere. There's a lot of restrictions per county. On every county that you go into, I think in the United States, they have a plan commission that tells them, but one room living. Now, whoever's thought of this, guess what? Elon Musk has talked about this. Nikola Tesla, which he named a Tesla car after, thought about this. In a way, Steve Jobs was a big proponent. Even Mark Zuckerberg, although I'm not going to say Mark Zuckerberg is even in the same room as Elon Musk and Tesla, but Nikola Tesla, Steve Jobs, what they did is like they wear the same clothes even today, every day. I did this for the United States for almost 20 years. I had like 25 shirts that all had my name on them. Right now you'll see that I do have 2 Carhartt shirts that are blue that I just really like because they're so comfortable. But I've got like 8 white T-shirts with me, and I'm really going very simpler. But in the United States, when I sold real estate, I had like 27 shirts that all had my name on it, and then they were all collared shirts, they're polo shirts, and then I had like 10 pairs of khaki pants, and a whole, I don't know how many pairs of underwear and socks. But I always wore gym shoes every day or sandals, okay, when I sold real estate. I did not wear, a suit. But yesterday I had 5 extra hours because of one less decision to make. One less decision to make. And a lot of you wonder why you're stressed. And to me, it's quite obvious. You have to think about so many items like so much of your stuff requires you to contemplate on it, and everything you look at is part of your brain, and it becomes a little fragment in your brain. I have a lot of free time to think, a lot of bandwidth to think about what is important, not what is maintenance of the brain. But when the One Less Decision house, the Fountain of Youth house, see what makes us really younger, and I've said for almost 25 years, 26 years that travel is the fountain of youth. Why is travel the fountain of youth? It's because we are in continuous adaptation mode where we are solving problems. And you see that people that work at a job where they solve problems all the day, if they are a successful person where they solve the problems and they become the master of their fate, they are much happier. The person that just puts in their time and they show up for work at 8, they go home at 5, they basically hate their job all day, they just put in their time all day, they don't have any brain waves being used for creativity, okay? I have a completely creative life, and I would not change my life for anybody's life. And that's where I say sometimes whether you shall be the hero of your life or whether that station held by anyone else, these pages will tell. This is the first line of Charles Dickens' book, David Copperfield. Okay, but One Less Decision. It's a maintenance-free, no setup time life. No setup time. You don't. I want you to really stop and have an introspective moment, examine who you are, and ask yourself, how long does it take you to get to work? So how long does it take you to get dressed? How long does it take you to clean the house? All these things are leakage of your emotional spirit in a way, and I don't have that, okay? I have a maintenance-free, no setup life because I live in hotels. Now, people say that's crazy because really what I value my time while you're valuing your stuff. Okay, I value the time that I spend living my life is more important than things. Because at the end of the day, the only thing we have is time. And if you spend your whole time, I came home inside the United States, and a lot of times I was always a little bit frustrated because everybody I talked to, they have all these maintenance things, and I really didn't get to talk to them. And then if I was talking to them, they were multitasking. They didn't even have it. They felt that they had to actually clean the house while they were talking to me. And this is sort of a malady of the overdeveloped countries, is that I call it human doing. They're so busy doing something that they don't really have any time to listen. Okay, and if you don't give your time to somebody, you're not giving them anything. But how much time I saved was, because right now, why am I saving so much? Why did I have 5 hours yesterday? Ay, un perro. Okay, I had no driving time, no shopping time. Just walking into Walmart, Costco's, Trader Joe's, anything like that is time wasted in a lot of ways. No cleaning, no, in a one-room home, you can clean it very quickly. So you could, if you calculate how much time you spend, I'm not going to do it for you because you really need to have an introspective moment. But people do this, right? They make videos where they tell you how much time you're using on all these things. Trust me, you just time yourself for how much time you spend cleaning the dishes and cleaning the house and working on the house, and then you multiply that times 365 days a year. And your life is, probably, a month of your life is spent just cleaning. Okay, house maintenance. I believe in Henry David Thoreau. Henry David Thoreau says the cost of anything in a way is the time you have to exchange for it. Okay, how much of your life you have to exchange for it. And his economy chapter in Walden is brilliant, and I often think that people only think that he's some sort of, what he constantly was saying is simplify. And a lot of people just get into the birds and the bees and all this stuff as if that's the thing, but they don't go live in nature, right? They basically are living what I want you to do is live your life instead of looking at somebody else's life to live. I don't want you to live my life. I want you to live your life. And when we talk, I want you to be able to explain to me what life you have. But in a one room home, one of the things you have is Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. This was a book that was pretty famous, and what he talks about in the book, I'm not sure who wrote it exactly, but they talk about the idea that there's two types of mechanics. A mechanic that has to put every single tool in a specific place, and then a photographic memory person that basically can put it anywhere and everywhere, and they just remember where they put it. I'm the second one. I can just put things anywhere inside a room, and I will remember where it's at. Okay, but in a one-room house, a one-room hotel, a one-room life, you get to be able to do this easily. Okay, and if nobody's touching your stuff, now don't get me wrong, when I had workers, one of the saddest things I ever had is I had 3 filing cabinets full of files on all of Fort Wayne, and then I hired these workers, and they proceeded to misfile, throw things around, and destroy those 3 filing cabinets full of stuff because they didn't care. I eventually got rid of all the workers because how you do anything is how you do everything. And I just couldn't be around them. I can't tolerate people that are not wanting to do their best. But the spin time in the United States is out of control. It's just out of control. They have no life. They are doing something all day long, and they don't have time to have an introspection or an examined life. They are living a life of trying to work at their life. They're working their life instead of living their life. But the spend time is getting out of the car and just getting in and out of the car and going to work takes 30 minutes minimum. So that's an hour a day. I used to, one thing I always did when I was living in the United States, and I had a lot of places to live because I bought over 60 houses. And I always made sure that I was like less than 15 minutes from the gym, okay? To me, the most high priority was my health. And there's a guy, Gary Bracca, that asked, he does a talk with these executives, and these executives say, what's their highest priority in life? And then they say their health, okay? And then what happens is he says, well, tell me some statistics on your health. What's your blood pressure? What's your heartbeat count? What's your sugar content? Blah, blah, blah. He goes through, what's your triglycerides? And he says, none of them know it. But if you ask them about their business, they can sit there and say how many employees they had, whatever. People are all mixed up. Prioritize. If all you can talk about is money, then basically in my life, you're just a prostitute. You're just working for prostitution. A prostitute only cares about the money. Okay, shopping takes, just to walk into Costco takes 10 minutes, right? Walking out takes 10 minutes. Going through the cash register. One reason I do kind of like Amazon is I can get on there and buy something very specific and have it delivered to the house. I'm really going to always focus on being a global citizen that looks to make the world a better place, a philosopher, somebody that only believes in the truth. One of the reasons why a lot of people are very angry at me is they never had anybody tell them the truth. Okay, and if you've lived a life where you've only had platitude talkers, basically saying anything you want to hear, it's very hard when you hear the truth because the truth is painful. If you really want to hurt a person's feeling, you tell them the truth. But I'm looking for people that are smart enough, intelligent enough, basically magnanimous enough to realize that time is the most important thing in our lives. Time is everything. Your health is everything. I go to the gym every day here in Columbia. I go twice a day now, and I could not really do that in the United States because I was too far from the gym. Yeah, I could go to these gyms that I hated, but I didn't want to drive for 35 minutes to go to the gym every day. It was like a wasted life to go exercise. I work out in my home, but it's very boring. There's symmetry, not symmetry. That's basically when you're working out with other people, there's an energy sharing that gives you the force to work out. And that's what you should do there's certain things that are not exactly, are a little bit on the painful side. So like when I really have a big project, I want to get 2 or 3 people involved in it, so we have the shared energy, the shared volition, the shared willpower, so that we can get the job together. Okay, life is an interdependency. Okay, I like to be dependent and interdependent on people. I want them to share in my life. I want them to feel that everything, that they have the right to tell me personally what to do. Now, don't get me wrong. If somebody ever tries to destroy you by telling you things just to bring you down so that they can bring themselves up, you erase them. You get rid of these people. There are people that are evil, and it's growing in the United States. It's not thing. It's growing in the planet. People are so busy looking at their phone that they cannot have a life. You got to strive to have a life if you want to be alive. You got to strive to have a life. What does it mean to have a life? Is having a life, you're gonna get on your deathbed and you're gonna say, I had a nice maintained house. I had rose bushes. I had, you're not gonna, are you gonna say, I had a family, children, we got together, we shared time together, we walked in the park together, or are you gonna say, I screamed at them all the time because they didn't clean their room? People want to tell me about their cars. If I want to really get any American talking, all I got to do is talk about sports, cars, trucks, any kind of work, any way to make money, because they're really living somebody else's life and they want to talk about somebody else's life, not their own. I have my life. I'm proud owner of the life that I constructed, and I want you to construct your own life too. Okay, I'm writing a book called The Philosophy Of, and I'm going to publish it real soon, and it's going to have like probably 7 or 8 volumes. I'm a little slow on the draw on this first one because I'm having trouble figuring out how to, whether I'm probably not going to use a proofreader because it just takes too much time, and truly ChatGPT, this artificial intelligence, and Grammarly will do it good enough for me. Okay, I don't really care whether people care. I don't really care if there's grammatic problems in the book. That's not the goal. The goal is the mission. The mission is the truth. Okay, it's not how I did it. It's the mission to tell the truth. But there is a minimum level of readership that you need to get people to read something. But I don't want to make it easy for people. I want them to basically struggle a little, because if you really want to make people have a better life, you have to say things and do things with them that make them think. The unexamined life is not worth living. Socrates. Okay, I have a great life. I lived in 114 countries, and I'm 65 plus years old, and I'm in, my brain works, very well. And I'm thanking the good gods, and life is good. Become a Patreon if you want. I got a need for more. Let's say GoFundMe page. And my GoFundMe page, I'm going to Israel. I got about $2,000, but I'm really lacking about $1,000 to really do it comfortably. I'm going to go back in November to the United States, the end of November, and get a thing to. They're going to put a sleeve in my aorta it's called a TBE, thoracic branching endograft, which is a thing to put a hose inside the hose of my heart so that it stops an aneurysm from having the capacity to break. Maybe I can exercise better than. I can't really do heavy duty exercise right now because of the fear. One friend of mine's writing me a lot of emails, and he didn't put into the factor that I don't want to live with this because I don't want to be thinking about it all the time. On the other side, in the future, they're going to be giving, with the stem cells and I believe they're actually going to, with cloning and all this stuff, they're going to create a copy of your heart and be able to transplant it. Okay, life is good. I'm here and you're not. Why not? I'm here and you're not. Why not? I'm here and you're not. Why not? Why are you living somebody else's life? Don't be watching me. Watch somebody's go write go write the story of your life and make it a life worth living. Okay, become a Patreon. The Patreon is a monthly thing where you can talk with me every Sunday. We go live on Patreon. For some of you that don't want to put your credit card in there, I do realize I can give you a Zelle. The phone number that's in the description, I guess you could send money with Zelle. 80% of the United States, I guess, 80% of the banks in the United States have things. But if you send me $60, 1 year's worth of thing, I will include you in the weekly Zoom meeting. We had 6 people the other day, and it's going to grow. And then one thing good on the Patreon thing, that's a good question. How do I allow you to get to the Patreon? Well, so many of you are paranoid that you really, that's all you are is fear. Don't be fearful. Life is too short to be thinking about all the fears. When somebody starts talking about COVID or their shots or their vaccines, I know they're a fear-based person, and they're letting the I don't understand why you would let the corporations control your life. Why do you let a corporation tell you how to live? A corporate only cares about money. Is that all you care about? Think about it. Do you do everything for money? How much time do you spend with your family?